Is Donald Trump a racist? Really? For his alleged comment in a private meeting? Using an expletive to describe the condition of a place or people is certainly not the most sophisticated way to express something, but nor does it make that person that chooses to use crass or unpalatable language a racist. Describing corruption or depravity as well as barbaric behavior may indeed be uncomfortable to those who choose to ignore the obvious. However, it still does not make the conveyor of such an observation a racist. To those of you who have concluded that our president specifically used those words, after all, two senators who have opposed this president, by the way, from the very beginning, one a Democrat and the other who is a Republican, they said so. It's a bit far reaching. After all, there were several others present in the same meeting that did not come to the same conclusion. Don't you find it just a bit ironic? Several said he did not say it. However, two said he did. Imagine for just a moment if 10 people said you or someone you love were innocent of a crime, but a few said you were guilty and you were sentenced on someone that you love at least to be penalized on the testimony of a minority. I think it's safe to assume, at least, you would feel, and rightfully so, that a great injustice had been done. But for the sake of this brief moment, let's assume President Trump said it. I'm not sure that it takes any of the merit away from the actual argument. Consider the following few countries that were discussed in a private meeting with the president, as well as the bipartisan senatorial group that was present. Almost 50% of those that are from El Salvador in the U.S. are near the poverty line. Simply put, the American taxpayer is left to pick up the entitlement tag to provide basic necessities for this particular group of people. The vicious MS-13 gangs that are rampant in this country are also from that very region. Currently, 50% of the gangs that are incarcerated, we're talking about murderers and rapists and sex traffickers, are from the very region that our president, as well as the majority of the states that voted for him, we want to put a stop to it. Does that make all of us racist? Or are we just Americans that would prefer to see the billions that we use on those that came illegally used for Americans that are actually in need? Let's consider one of the other regions that were mentioned briefly, West Africa. West African sociologist Mamadi Troy from Guinea, he agrees with President Trump. President Donald Trump, he said, is absolutely right. Africa is a continent of, and he actually uses the expletive. When you have heads of state, he said, who mess with the constitutions to perpetrate their power, when you have rebel factions that kill children and disembowel women as saints, who mutilate innocent civilians, frankly, he said, it must be said that it is crap. About half of its 170 million people live on the poverty line, $2.50 a day, and almost 75% perilously close to it on $4 a day. The great continent of Africa, especially in the Nigeria region, is one of the richest in oil, greater actually than the reserves that are in Saudi Arabia. However, those that are empowered, they have only enriched themselves. Corruption have raped the heritage of this great people. Does it make President Donald J. Trump racist because he juxtaposed Norway with these other countries? Don't forget, Norway is rated one of the richest countries in the world. Why would we not want, whether they're from Norway or Latin America or Africa, the best minds? Would we not desire in our own lives and businesses individuals that could contribute to our forward progress? I don't see how that's racist. I hope that you don't succumb to this duplicitous thinking like the CNN reporter when she was asked, did she prefer to live in Norway or one of the impoverished areas that was being discussed? She very disingenuously stated she didn't know. That's pretty sad. Last, in 2015, did you know that President Trump, prior obviously to being president of the United States of America, he actually financed over several hundred people in Haiti that were in need of corrective vision, that was out of his pocket. But did you know this? That President Barack Hussein Obama in 2016, in an interview at The Atlantic, he actually called the African nation of Libya the same expletive. Senator Dick Durbin as well, and Senator Graham also used expletives in describing some of the regions from the statements, by the way, that they're criticizing now. Well, I don't know about you, but I know this. We're going to have to take a different approach to the way that we look at life and look at what's being reported. Again, this doesn't make us a racist people to do so. It just makes us American. Listen, I believe there are great people in Latin America and Africa, in Haiti, and every corner of this earth. They're great people, but they're bad people as well. And right now, we're in a conundrum because America should be at least put first. We have some of our own perils to deal with. We're a nation that even though we're doing better, I think we can even do better than what we're looking at right now. If our president was indeed a racist, would he have pushed agendas and things to make sure that our markets are turning the way they have? By the way, for those of you that are black that are calling this president a racist, do you realize that black unemployment is actually at its lowest period? Same thing for Hispanics. If he was really a racist, wouldn't he push policies, come on, that would, for the most part, make sure that other groups other than people that look like him could not achieve the same success? Let's stop being juvenile. Let's take a serious look at these issues. Let's move forward. Let's make America great together. And even though we're caring and giving people, America is the #1 contributor to every nation that finds themselves in some sort of peril. But right now, if we don't take care of ourselves, we'll lose America. And that doesn't mean that we're racist. That just means that we have to take care of home before we can sometimes help others. I'm Aubrey Shines. I'm Senior Pastor and Bishop of G2G Ministries in Tampa, Florida. And let's make America great again. God bless you.